Welcome back, everybody. This is your post-Super Bowl show from our three-man booth. Bud's in the closet. I'm Dan Salem. Phil's over. Phil's up in his window. Everyone watched the Super Bowl. Not everyone enjoyed it, unless you're a Patriots fan. Did you guys have a fun party at least? How was your game? Your big game?
Party. This is the second consecutive Super Bowl I watched by myself, so there's no party for me.
This is the first Super Bowl in a long time that I haven't had anybody over the house or been over someplace. So it was very interesting.
So you're both a bummer. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's partly because Mandy's team is in the Super Bowl, but she always likes to make a lot of food. So she made a lot of food. We had three friends over, so it was still a gathering. It was fun.
Well, if Bud didn't decide to move to Jersey, we probably would have gotten together. But it is what it is.
I gotta work, man.
I get.
But so I'll preface. I said that was her team. She was excited until the game ended, and then she said, "Okay, let's change the channel. It's enough football." she doesn't really care. Well,
what about you? You were torn because you're sort of rooting for the Patriots for her sake, but then on the other hand, you're rooting for the Rams for your hometown.
So because our team is never in it, I'm rooting for a good game, and so I was rooting for the Rams because they were playing from behind the whole game. I mean, I wanted the Rams to win. That's my home city. Patriots have won enough; they don't need another championship. But I mean,
so I guess the question is, would you consider the defense a good game, or would you consider this the fact that there was nothing offensive?
So
because I've been listening to the sports radio and the debate is going back and forth.
So there's no doubt that there was great defense. It was a terrible football game. It was a terrible game to watch. Nothing happened. It's not like there was I think 2 turnovers. It's not like there was big defensive plays. They just shut them down. I think the Rams punted 10 times in a row. That's terrible football from a viewership standpoint. Defense wins championships, and it absolutely did this year. And that was great defense, probably the best defense we've ever seen in the Super Bowl from 2 teams. But it was a terrible – it's a completely forgettable game because nothing exciting happened. I don't know.
It really is. It really was. And I was talking to Dan before we started here, and the rating for this Super Bowl, the 120s, 130s for the Super Bowl, because you figure everyone's watching. CBS did I just lost it. Hold on a second.
92.
98.7 on CBS.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Do you know that the New Orleans market only did a 20, I think a 23 or a 24?
Yeah, I was telling Dan. Yeah.
They had an anti-Super Bowl parade. They are cuckoo. Did you see the pictures? They had a huge parade for no Super Bowl.
Well, you have to throw the debate, right? Whether or not it would have been a better game if New Orleans had made it. I personally don't think so.
I do.
The only thing absolutely, because of Drew Brees. Drew Brees, with his veteran experience, I do think he would have done more than Jared Goff was able to do behind center. Now, granted, he didn't have any time to throw the ball or anybody to throw it to. But
that's the problem. That's the problem. If Cooper Kupp is there, it's a whole different ballgame because Brandon Cooks has been in the Super Bowl 2 consecutive years, and 2 consecutive years he's done absolutely nothing. So
he had that's not true because he had 9 receptions for 120-something yards this year.
Yeah, but that was a quiet 9 receptions.
And let's put things in perspective, Phil. If he catches that ball at the beginning of the 4th quarter, they're up 7-3, and then the whole table are turned here.
10-3.
So, what's that?
10-3. It was tied 3 at half, 3 at half. Yeah.
So we're talking,
But you're right. But he didn't catch it though. That was excellent defense on the Patriots' part to not let Brandon.
But the game looked too big for Goff, and he looked like he was completely overwhelmed. He wasn't making his reads properly. Cooks was wide open in the end zone for 3-4 seconds, and the ball just kind of floated to him. There was a whole bunch of errors offensively by the Rams. It's just they made the Patriots. Listen, the Patriots played a great game, but they made the Patriots look much better than they probably are. And Tom Brady did not play well. And this whole fanfare around Tom Brady about how great he is. Give me a break. Has he won an MVP in the Super Bowl?
Hold on. Hold your hate for a moment.
Coach is greatest of all time. He plays with a bunch of. Listen, I've been holding this in.
I don't know. Hold it for one more minute because I want to finish this other conversation. Then you can rant on Brady. Okay, because I wanted to mention Todd Gurley because people were ragging on Gurley. I felt like every time he ran the ball for positive gains, it got called back for a penalty. It was a real.
That did happen. That's true.
But Wade Phillips for the LA Rams, like if you told me the Patriots were held to 13 points, I would have assumed the Rams won easily. And I think vice versa. Obviously, the Patriots held them to 3 and they won. The defense was outstanding. So I know you're going to rate Tom Brady, but he managed one successful drive, and that was all he needed. He always manages to get just a little bit more than the other team to win. And
I'm not putting that past them. All I'm saying is that I'm tired of hearing that he's the greatest of all time and like all this other crap. Like as a Jets fan, part of it is just bitterness. I'll flat out say it.
Because I mean, do you not respect him? You do not think he's the greatest quarterback of all time?
You mean to tell me people like Bart Starr or Roger Staubach or Joe Montana and all these guys that play, he's probably the best of this generation, but he's not the best quarterback of all time. Give me a break. Joe Montana went 4-0 in the Super Bowls and didn't even sniff an interception. Okay, now he also hasn't played in 9 Super Bowls.
How did Joe Montana do as a member of the Kansas City? Yeah, I don't know. He didn't end his career.
That was at the end of his career. He was basically just exiled off. And by the way, Kansas City was really good the years that he was there. He just couldn't win in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's something entirely different. The Patriots are better. They play in a crappy division, so they steamroll the division, and they're constantly getting buys because of that.
And you know what? That's not getting any better anytime soon, by the way.
So it pains me to do this.
Put them in another division where they have to play more competitive teams.
Yeah. It pains me to do this, but this was their most impressive Super Bowl of all of them, in my opinion. They were not as good of a team this year. They were not as good as any of the teams they beat in the playoffs, and yet they were coached. Like now, Brady runs Belichick's team to perfection. But this is all Bill Belichick. This was Bill Belichick's Super Bowl. Tom Brady's had his Super Bowls maybe 2 years ago against Atlanta was kind of Tom Brady's Super Bowl because he led them back. This one was all Belichick because of the defense, because of the game planning. They fought and clawed to 11 wins during the season. And honestly, I wanted to pick against them every single game every single round of the playoffs because they just nothing about them. They have no flashy players, no stars anymore.
Except for the Kansas City game, not Kansas City. I'm sorry, San Diego game. They steamrolled Kansas City. Kansas City. I keep saying that.
Oh,
the Chargers. I keep saying San Diego too. By the way, the Chargers. They had no shot. All right, they lost before they got off the bus. The Kansas City game, they were one offsides penalty from not even making the Super Bowl. It's just that's what everyone's frustrated at. If what's his name puts his head on the line of scrimmage, Patriots don't even get to the Super Bowl. We're having a whole different conversation right now. But I agree with you. You're right. They weren't as good as those teams that they were playing, but they found a way like they always do.
And so it's funny because I don't think Gronkowski had a single catch the entire game outside of the 2 big plays he got in their 1 touchdown drive. I think they saved him for the start of the 4th quarter. I think they saved him for the start of the 4th quarter because I don't think they tossed the ball his way the whole game. And the 4th quarter goes, and they throw it to Gronk, they score, and then they turn it off. Now, I mean, now that's kind of simplifying, but he was not even a factor except for the 1 scoring drive because they think they needed him that 1 drive. It's just
no. They had one factor. They had one go-to person, and I don't understand why the Rams didn't triple cover Julian Edelman. Now I know I'm setting up Bud on a silver platter here, but I mean, Edelman was the only person he was throwing to. He could have been triple covered, and Brady still would have given him 10 targets. It was Edelman and it was Sony Michel. That was pretty much Chris Hogan. I mean, did he even have a catch in the game? I don't think so.
No. Well, there was so little offense. It's like
it was right, but it went to 2 players. 2.5 if you want to count Gronk with his 2 catches. But it went to literally the whole game plan was 2 players.
So
it worked. It absolutely worked.
So I'm not upset that the Super Bowl championship is in our division because it's been there so many times. It doesn't upset me that it's back there. And like I have so much respect for that team because they keep finding new ways to win. And it's kind of like they're just so good. I have to tip my cap to them. It doesn't piss me off. Obviously, you're in the opposite end of the spectrum, so I'm just going to leave it there. It doesn't bother me. I'm just like in awe that they manage to keep winning. Like,
there's not, but there's not an ounce of jealousy in you about this.
No, I'm not jealous. I'm not a jealous person. I'm not jealous. I want to beat them. I'm not jealous.
Well, Bud mentioned it before. The reason they keep getting to all these AFC Championship games and Super Bowls is because they literally play in the worst division in football. They literally have a guaranteed 5 to 6 wins every year before they even play anybody else on their roster. So you only need to win 4 more games than 10 to make the playoffs every single year.
Now, on Devil's Advocate, they are supposed to have one of the hardest schedules every year because they're coming off a winning season. It doesn't always work out. But
how come all the big games when they play Kansas City and they play the Pittsburghs, they're always in New England? Every single big game against a really good team happens to be in New England.
No, because they win more at home, and so
that's what I'm saying.
Honestly, all sports love dynasties, and the NFL loves the Patriots right now because they're the dynasty. They're going to obviously throw them some freebies.
How many more times do we have to see this team be in the same role? At some point, I get that they like dynasties, but at some point, enough's enough. I mean, but
gotta beat them.
That's no fault to them. That should be a wake up call to the rest of the league to say, let's get our acts together here. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not good for football. Look at the ratings. You had America's team and an LA market. Don't say
America's team anymore. They're not America's team.
Nobody likes the Patriots, so they're not America's team. America's team implies that America's rooting for them. Nobody wants them to win, but LA,
so they can see them lose.
So looking forward, this was a great learning experience for Sean McVay as a coach because he had a tremendous season and he got absolutely outcoached, and he said it. And I really hope that he can roll this forward and continue this LA Rams power because they're opening a new stadium in another year, and I want them to be a good team when that happens. I mean, I don't really care if they have the Super Bowl. It'd be fun, but like they're not my team. So, but like this is great for the Rams. That it sucks that they didn't get blown out. It was a close game and they couldn't do anything. But I mean, 13-3 is nothing to cry about except that you lost. It's just like, I mean, I think this is good for the Rams. It's good that we have more dominant teams in football, but there's a whole changing in the guard taking place. Brady's on his way out at some time or another. We need other people to step up. You're absolutely right. No one's done it in 10 years. No.
I think that next year, I think the Rams will be just as good. I mean, I think what you're going to see happen here in the next 2 or 3 weeks is Todd Gurley's going to go for surgery on his knee because something's clearly wrong with him. And they're going to Cup back next year. And they still got Brandon Cooks and they still got Jared Goff and they still got a solid offensive line. They may lose Dante Fowler. I mean, they still got Sue signed up for another year. They still got Darnold signed up for another year. So, I mean, the defense is still going to be good. I don't. And let's look at the division that they play in, right? So they could be turning into the Patriots of the NFC. I mean, you got to play the Cardinals, they're terrible. You're going to play the 49ers who get Jimmy G back next year. We're not going to know what he's going to be like, right? But you got to
– maybe Antonio Brown, but we'll see.
We'll see where it goes.
And then, the craziness in Seattle right now is that they're not even talking to Russell Wilson about a contract extension, so maybe he's going out the door.
They don't want to pay him. They can't afford – that's a small market team.
Well, I think –
So that's the problem with the Rams, though, is because Jared Goff is going to be coming up for a contract soon too, and all these teams that make the Super Bowl, the Eagles, the Seattle for a while, the Rams, all had players with with quarterbacks on rookie contracts. And the moment you start paying the quarterback because you have no money to spread out anywhere else. The Patriots are the only ones for the last 19 years, if you go back to 2001, their first Super Bowl, that have literally been the model of consistency. Tom Brady takes a pay cut every single year.
They had like 2-star players. He takes a pay cut, but they're not paying anybody else big money either.
No. Well, but you're right. But look, Gurley got paid. Sue got paid. Brandon got paid. You can't
got paid. Yeah.
Right. There comes a point where you can't pay everybody hundreds of millions of dollars. It doesn't fit. That's not the model the NFL has. That's why there's so much turnover in the league, and that's why there's so much parity in the league, except for the Patriots. Everyone else, I heard it today, the Super Bowl loser doesn't get back next year, except for the Patriots. Everyone else that loses doesn't even get back to the Super Bowl the next year. So we keep saying now the Rams might get back, but they might not.
Well, right. Well, they got tough competition. If the Saints can roll it back one more year, and the Vikings actually do anything to improve, there's tough competition. The Bears, the Packers, if they can put something together, I mean, it's no guarantee.
Yeah.
I agree.
Do you think Gronkowski's played his last game?
Absolutely, yes.
It has to. It had to have been his last. Like Dan said, 2 catches in the Super Bowl. I mean, slow old man before the Super Bowl.
They did the same thing in the Chiefs game. I think he had like 1 or 2 drives in the fourth quarter. He was money, and they just basically stayed away from him the whole time. This was like an homage to him. Like they basically gave him 1 drive a game throughout the playoffs. That was it.
I'm surprised he didn't retire on the podium last night.
I
don't think he wanted to steal the spotlight from his team.
Yeah, I know. Team first. That's the Patriot way, right?
Yeah.
But he does retire, it will be a huge void that they have to fill. And granted, Belichick always figures out how to fill it, but
will it though? Because like Dan said, they get one game.
Yeah.
So what are they really missing?
If he doesn't retire, it's worse.
Okay. But to Dan's point, yeah, they only use him for 1 or 2 drives a game, but those 1 or 2 drives are money drives, and he gets all the looks.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying. I mean,
I expect him to retire.
He has 80 touchdowns or something like that for a tight end. Some ridiculous number, right?
Oh, he's going to walk into the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about that.
100%. But you're not going to be able to replace his productivity. That's my point.
Tom Brady's always got one guy. now Gronk seems like the exception, but at some point you got to acknowledge that the system makes these guys really, really good too. So,
well, I'm just saying this. I mean, Wes Welker was a Hall of Famer, and then Wes Welker left, and Wes Welker was crap. So everyone sits here and they praise Julian Edelman, whatever. But I'm just saying.
So everybody looks great. Everyone looks great when you're catching 5-yard passes 10 times a game, and if you can get run after the catch, great. But like that offense is designed for people to succeed, and so if you actually just do what you're supposed to do, you're gonna succeed. And that's why all these guys don't do as well when they leave for bigger money. Like,
okay, so let me throw something out. This is crazy, and this is just me being a Patriot hater. Everyone praises Belichick. Why doesn't anybody give Josh McDaniels any credit? If the offense is designed that this team is flawless, works, why doesn't he get any credit? Everybody's praising Belichick and putting him up on.
You know what is? I don't think that he doesn't. I mean, he was offered. He would have been a head coach by now if he wanted to leave, and he chose not to. They convinced him to stay. He accepted the job. He accepted a job and then came back.
Yeah, he went to Indianapolis. It's like, nah, I changed my mind.
So he's the hottest He's the hottest head coaching candidate that he's not making himself available. Like he decided to stay.
There must be some hush hush agreement then. I mean, because
he's definitely he's taking over whenever Belichick retires. Absolutely.
Well, hopefully that's.
I actually heard something interesting today that Belichick's son might actually be the candidate to be the coach when he leaves.
Oh.
Steve, his name? I forget his name. But I heard that today.
That'd be a slap in the face to McDaniels.
Yeah.
Now, I have to say, but it feels to me like, because I wanted to bring it back to the picture I chose for the headline here with the Robert Kraft, Tom Brady hug and kiss. Like, there were just that to me. It made me happy because that's the freaking owner of your team, and you're actually like that close with the player. Now, obviously, he made them what they are, right? But that's why McDaniel stayed, because no matter how much they don't hate their owner, they all love that guy. I hate him personally because of what he represents outside of football. But I think that what he managed to develop there is kind of special. Now, most other teams don't have that. Maybe it's the winning. Maybe it's only the winning. I don't know, but
I don't think any other team had that. Maybe the guy in Atlanta, the hell's his name? I can see his face.
Oh yeah,
the guy in Atlanta who's always down the sideline. Yeah, I think kind of like the best example of being like a Robert Kraft kind of owner.
But do you think the fact that Kraft and Kroenke were in the Super Bowl turned people off from watching? Because they're both big Trump guys. Both.
Yeah, nobody likes Kroenke. What is Kroenke on? Like four or five different professional teams? Nobody likes that guy at all.
Well, both of them. Kraft owns like Manchester United or something silly. Like they both. I don't know.
Well, no, Kroenke I think he owns the Nuggets, obviously the Rams. He owns an NHL team too, right?
And his wife has a team or two, so it's a big family ownership circle. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Must be.
Yeah, that's a tough life to live.
Well, and he stole the Rams from St. Louis to bring them to LA. So like just miserable actions.
Would you have gone to the parade on Tuesday if they won the Super Bowl?
No. It's supposed to be raining.
Oh, well. When the Jets win the Super Bowl, you fly out here, we'll all go down to the Canyon of Heroes.
I will do that. Yes. I will do that.
I'm not. I will probably have a heart attack as soon as the final whistle blows.
That's true. Bud will be in the hospital. We'll visit him after.
So I read that the people in Boston were celebrating like it was their first Super Bowl because, of course, Boston would do something douchey like that.
It's the arrogance of that town is just unbelievable now. And, I mean, I can't blame them. They're calling themselves Title Town all of a sudden. But
well, again, because the Red Sox and Patriots both won again. They did that. It was in 2008 they both did it, I think. Or in 2004 they both did it. Every time. It's a pain in the ass.
I think half the reason we were talking about the ratings before, but everyone's just so tired of it. It's just it's not even jealousy anymore. It's just fatigue. We're just seeing it.
It's amusing because I went to college there, right? So the first year I was there, the Yankees lost the World Series, and so every single person was rooting against the Yankees because that's what you do in Boston. But I have close friends there, and they were so proud of being supportive of such a loser, both the Patriots and Red Sox. They don't know. They did not know what to do with themselves with all the success. And then everyone in the town is wearing pink Red Sox hats. The Red Sox finally won. And so, like, the whole nation's behind the Red Sox and the Patriots. They lost their entire identity, and they don't know what to do now. But now, a decade later, they're just obnoxious. It's kind of funny. Like,
well, and everybody under the age of
the Yankees so much because of the winning ways, and now they're just become them. It's just
right. And anybody under the age of 25 knows nothing of the suffering that those Patriots in the 80s and early 90s were. They were the laughing stock of the league for decades. Yep. Same with the Red Sox. Hadn't won a thing. And it's like these kids know nothing, absolutely nothing about the going through the hardships of it. Obviously, we all do. Knicks fans, Giants fans, Yankees fans in the 80s. We've all dealt with it.
Yeah.
It's just,
and as a Yankees fan, it was hilarious to tease the Red Sox fans because they were so bad. I can only imagine that's what the Patriots – now they do the same thing to me as a Jets fan and the Patriots-Jets. And I'm like, I can't be so mad because I did it to you. But
yeah, and you have to sit there and take it because you can't do anything about it.
Nope, because we lose anyways. So,
Bud, what did you think about Julian Edelman getting the MVP? This is why he's in the closet so he can what he really.
Yes, please do, because he didn't even get the game-winning touchdown. What the hell was that about?
Listen, all I'm going to say about it is that we celebrate this team. Not we. I certainly don't. And listen. Again, this is just going to sound like a bitter fan, but I mean, the guy was suspended 4 games this year for performance-enhancing drugs. All right, and now all of a sudden he's getting paraded around Disney World like he's the president. It seems every 4 years they get caught cheating, but that gets pushed against under the rug, and now all of a sudden he's the greatest quarterback of all time. He deflated a ball 3 years ago. If he didn't do that, he wouldn't have beaten Andrew Luck in the championship game, guaranteed. We just have to. And me as a Jets fan, I voice my opinion on it, and then I get killed.
I liked what you posted. What were people defending him for?
No, because it's just the Patriots fans. It's the Patriot way of life. I'm proud of my.
Well, I mean, that's what it is in Boston,
and that's fine. Every Patriots fans are allowed to be happy and proud right now, but I'm allowed to also speak the truth. Listen, the guy was caught cheating earlier in the year, and he was suspended 4 games. Okay, that's a fact, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's also a fact that Wes Welker was a product of the system, and as soon as he left, he was non-existent in an offense. I guarantee you put Julian Edelman on any other team, and he's a bum. I guarantee you, he doesn't even make a roster. I'm just telling you.
Honestly, you are 100% true.
at the
100% true.
school.
Because it's only interesting if I play devil's advocate. So football. I mean, all sports people cheat constantly, right? I mean, we played football. Everyone tried to cheat. That was kind of what you were taught to do. So I'm glad that he got caught, and it sucks that they keep cheating. But I'm happy that they keep getting caught. Like.
But nothing happens
I don't know how I feel about that because it's just such a part of the game. Like having played, you just know it. So I'm not sure where I stand. But
I mean, if you get caught for something like that, I think the penalty maybe needs to change that. Yeah, you get suspended, but you also can't play in a Super Bowl if you get caught for performance-enhancing drugs.
Or maybe you're not the league MVP of the Super Bowl.
Well, unfortunately, he was the MVP by default because nobody else did anything. I get there was a case you could have given it to the I forget Cordell.
Gilmore?
Why not Michelle?
Yeah, Gilmore.
Why not Michelle? Didn't he have like 100 yards and a touchdown?
Did he have 100 yards? I don't know. But Michelle's the only other one. But the guy that played defense, the interception, he caused,
Gilmore.
Yeah, Gilmore. So there was a case for him. Unfortunately, with Edelman with 10 catches for 140 yards, he didn't have a touchdown. That would have been a no-brainer if he did. But
I guess my feeling is I felt like he had zero impact on the game. The one touchdown drive was to Gronk and Michelle. So I was shocked to see that he won it, just because I didn't feel like he had an impact on the game at all.
That was just a stats, a stats Tyler award because really, who would you really give it?
Absolutely,
they won 1 yard touchdown.
They wanted to give it to Tom Brady, but they couldn't because
they couldn't. You couldn't. If the Rams won, you weren't giving it to Goff. You weren't giving it to Gurley, which, what, he played 5 snaps? He has to be hurt. There's no other explanation for him producing the way he did. Yeah, a couple of his big runs got called back, but
he had 11 touches yesterday.
Yeah. For nothing. I mean, for peanuts.
Yeah, no, nothing.
So,
But I know I sound like a bitter Jets fan, but I mean, listen, if you ask other fans around the league, not just Jets fans, some of them are probably saying the exact same thing that I'm saying. I mean, all I'm saying is that I have a platform and I'm using it, and I'm just saying that.
I want you to put your thing back up because that was a really good, truthful jab at them. Now, Boston people, I would have expected no less for them to defend them to the fault. I mean, that's a mob town. They defend their mobsters to the death, no matter how many people they've murdered. They're going to back them up because they're Boston people. Boston defends Boston. That's just what they do. But you back down. You can't back down. Don't back down.
No.
Keep it coming. Let them have it all off season.
Believe it or not, I'm a lover, not a fighter. So
okay.
It's true.
We're gonna have to get a new social media ambassador because he can't take the heat over here.
Well, no, that kiss my ass though. I'm just tired of seeing them win, and I'm tired of seeing a team that is just just bad. Yeah.
So I don't have a story yet, but so my side note, my brother-in-law went to the game. His Mandy's brother, he's really close friends. One of his best friends coaches for the Rams, and he used to coach for the Patriots. He's moved around the league, but he was one of the Rams coaches. So he got all 10 of his buddies from college tickets to the Super Bowl. So my brother-in-law is a Patriots fan, sitting in the Rams section. He went to the Rams after party. Now I have to find out what that was like because I can't imagine it went very well having them lost. But then all 10 of them were celebrating the victory at the after party for the other team where no one wants to celebrate. It's very interesting. I don't have the full scoop yet, but I'll bring it back in the next couple of weeks.
We got to get some better friends, bud, because we got no connections out here.
I'm not good enough for you.
Well, are you getting me tickets to the Super Bowl? Dan's going to go these years.
No.
Yeah, maybe he'll be coaching the Jets by the time they make the big game. We'll see how he bounces, if he sticks with LA or not.
Oh, man.
Apparently, speaking of the Jets really quick, the rumor is that the Jets are not willing to open the bank for Le'Veon Bell anymore.
You know who is? From what I heard today, Miami. Miami is it Miami or Tampa? I forget I think maybe it's Tampa. One of the Florida teams is literally ready to pounce Le'Veon Bell.
But here's the question of the day. because Antonio Brown is also available. He will not be a Steeler next season either. Who do you want more? I want Brown. Like, he's
Yeah, bro. Well,
more longevity.
Le'Veon. Yeah, right. Longevity. Le'Veon Bell is 29, I think, something like that. Is he that old? We all know the life cycle of a once you hit that 30, usually tends to slow down a little bit.
Yeah. So before you answer the question, Bud, who you'd rather have, you got to understand this. Everything you're going to read now, this is posturing. So for them to say they don't want him, even though he was their biggest suitor, they're testing the market, seeing how many other teams out there, how much money other people are going to throw out there. They got to see what the high value is. If they want to actually get him, they got to know what the competing price is and what teams they're competing against. So, like, if it's Miami, it's like, shit, if we don't get him, he's going to go to the division rival. We can't let that happen. So there's a lot of posturing going on right now to feel out who the true competition is, because otherwise it's only the Jets that we knew of.
You want to talk about posturing? Going to a different sport for a second. All this Davis talk is all over the place. And if you think for a second that he's not going to end up on the Lakers, you're kidding yourself. He's going to the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Who's this?
Anthony Davis.
Yep. Did you see what the Lakers are willing to give up for him?
They're
willing to trade. They're literally willing to trade their entire starting lineup, other than LeBron
and two first-round picks. But otherwise, New Orleans isn't going to do a deal like that.
And honestly, that seems perfectly fine to me.
Did you hear Lonzo Ball's dad came out and said, I don't want him playing for New Orleans. If we're not playing for LA, I'd rather him play for Phoenix.
He did. I saw that today.
Phoenix is terrible.
Well, Anthony Davis's dad came out the other day and said that he doesn't want Anthony Davis going to Boston. So it's funny. I love reading these stories.
So Lonzo Ball's an afterthought right now. His dad just wants him to be on a team where he can actually be a semi-star.
I mean, do you watch any Laker games out there?
I don't. No.
All right, but even if you did, the hype for him, I mean, there is no hype. He's not that good.
He had hype. He had hype year one, and it went. Poof.
Yeah, because he's not that good. So
no, that family, I hate that family so bad.
I know. It's just I just want to tie that in because you're right. The posturing with all the agents and the we're gonna drop a story here, we're gonna drop a story there. This guy's it's just you have to weed through so much red tape to figure out what's real and what's not.
What about the Dolphins signing the Patriots coach immediately after the Super Bowl? I mean,
that was already in the works. I mean, they just couldn't sign him because he was still coaching.
Okay, and then what about the Bengals? Then they closed on their coach immediately after too, but I don't even know.
The quarterback's coach from the Rams.
Oh, that's who that was. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that was the last two openings, right?
Yeah.
So Josh McDaniels is going to be in New England next year. Either way.
Yeah. Yep. So the Jets stole the Dolphins coach. The Dolphins stole the Patriots coach. There's a lot of incest going on.
Yeah, but remember, if the Patriots let you have one of their players or their coaches, there's a reason for it.
Yep. Well, they did not let Josh McDaniels get away. They would not let him get away. So.
Yeah.
All right, so quickly, Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell, because I don't think you can get them both. But who do you want?
I would go Bell.
Okay.
I think it just opens up the offense a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, a wide receiver is great, but you could double team a wide receiver. You can't double team Le'Veon Bell out of the backfield, and if you do, it's going to open up your tight end who is up and coming, or it's going to open up a wide receiver spot. Listen, they got a lot of holes to fill, as we know, but I mean, if I had to choose one gun to my head, I would choose Le'Veon Bell.
Now, I personally would be shocked if they didn't end up with at least one of those two guys.
You think they'll get one of them?
I definitely think they'll get one of those two. Yeah, and I don't like. Yeah, I don't like the Steelers, so it makes me happy to see that team kind of crumbling.
It's amazing. They're going to lose both of those guys because Brown's not coming back, and obviously Bell's is gone too. You're right. That team's going to fall.
I heard something along the lines of today that they were going to. Oh God, you can't franchise them, but there's another sort of franchise tag that would force him to only be traded.
Oh, Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, I heard about this a few months ago.
Compensation.
What was this?
I forget the name of it, but you're right. There is another designated tag. It's not franchise. It's something else that they could do if they wanted to.
That basically locks him into the franchise, and the only way that he can move is if they trade him.
Well, that's what the Eagles are doing with Foles. He's gonna decline his option. They're gonna franchise him. So then they can trade him to whoever wants him. So they get compensation. It's just garbage.
Play the game as long as they let you play it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Everyone's contract is on napkins. That's the way it is.
So we kind of got like a dead zone week here, right? Because we're gonna get a lot of news coming up quick. When's the league year open? Beginning of March? Is that what it is?
Beginning of March, but you got the AAF starting on Saturday night.
Oh, Saturday. Okay. So we gotta talk about that next week. Then we'll have to talk.
I am intrigued. We'll see what it brings. I think there's 2 games on Saturday. I don't know if it's only 2 games this weekend, but I know there's at least 2 on Saturday.
Is Christian Hackenberg playing?
I don't know. I don't even know. Okay. I'll have to do a little show research because I don't know what team's on or who's playing. I mean, there's only 8 teams in the league, so.
Yes, I'm intrigued.
You'd almost, if I had to guess, I'm going to say only because I think he was the first quarterback taken in their draft. So if you want to highlight your number 1 pick, I would assume you're going to start off your season with him. But I don't even remember where he went. Because these are all like secondary cities. Like there's no New York, there's no LA, there's no Chicago teams. It's all like Sioux Falls and you know.
And it behooved them to stream the whole thing free online so that people could actually just watch it. But
it's on NBC.
It's going to be on NBC, really.
Dick Ebersol's son is the one who runs the whole league. This is on NBC. I'm almost positive. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it's on NBC. I saw it before last night.
Okay. Well, I gotta do my research too.
I'm not interested.
But
okay, so we got through the whole show and you didn't swear once. So we got less than a minute. You want to give us a little Tom Brady action or something?
I'm good.
Went to the closet for nothing.
Well,
that's true. It is a very nice closet, though. By the way.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
You want to give us a quick tour before we sign off? No. All right. Well, I don't have any final thoughts.
Be quiet.
Yeah. I enjoyed the game, even though it was a bad game. The halftime show was kind of pathetic. What do you guys think? Any final thoughts?
I mean, it's another year in the books, and now it's the longest off season in any major sport. I mean, I'm actually glad that they have this secondary football league starting because at least it's something to kind of keep you intrigued until we get to the draft and agency and the off season stuff. So at least it's a nice bridge because February to September is a very long time. So
yeah, it is. All right.
But every team is 0-0.
That's true. We're all undefeated.
We're all undefeated. So, but enjoy the mouse.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll talk again next week.
All right. Bye.
Thanks for watching BuzzChomp.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.
Share.
Woo.